If you had told me a couple of weeks ago that I'd be drinking pig's blood from a silver chalice in Trenton, New Jersey, I would have told you to get right out of town.
Comedy is subjective, right? I mean, whether it's TV, movies, stand-up, web shorts, we all gravitate towards certain parts of the comedy spectrum. What you find funny might not align with me, and vice versa. I personally tend to lean towards comedies that aren't afraid to play around with depressing, awkward, cringeworthy, maybe sometimes taboo subject matter. So I've put together a list of 5 obscure, dark comedies that are most likely enjoyed by someone of questionable moral integrity. So come on, let's be bad people. Come roll around in the filth with me, just for a few moments. Here are my 5 favorite dark comedies that you may not be familiar with. And as always, I want to give a special thanks to our patrons over on the Backfocus Patreon. Check it out if you'd like to help support this channel. Thanks.
And I kind of want this album to have different themes about like credit card debt and like, who are the ones that are projecting reality into the world.
Say this is my penis. I do this, I finish peeing, and then I wipe it down like this. And then I put it away. So it's on my shirt.
So does you do that? Covered in piss?
The spots, just the spots on the bottom.
Before we get into this, a little background about its star, Connor O'Malley. I'm pretty sure the first time I saw him was when he was injecting chaos into the gentle, offbeat Adult Swim show, Joe Pera Talks With You. I remember this scene vividly, in which he goes into great detail telling Joe how to construct the perfect egg bite.
Calm down. No, don't laugh. This isn't funny, okay? It is serious to him. He is trying.
I need a win. Things aren't going well for me.
He actually wrote for this show, as well as other shows like How To with John Wilson and Late Night with Seth Meyers.
So you're too busy to watch a full episode, but you watch like full episodes 60 seconds at a time, one at a time.
What do you care? Jesus Christ.
As far as in front of the camera, there's this kind of weird, angry, sad intensity Connor brings to his characters. Whenever I see him in something, whether it's I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson or Palm Springs, it's like he's playing a guy who peaked in high school and his life is just crumbling around him.
I already told you no earlier. Randy, what makes you think that I changed my mind?
I know you've had more to drink.
You can't say that to me, man.
Whatever, I don't need a lecture.
Connor's also got his own YouTube channel with a bizarrely funny stand-up special.
Did you see that Top Gun movie? Yeah? Yeah, did you? How'd they get them planes so fast, huh?
An incredible short film called Corey's.
I don't need to sleep. I don't use currency. I'm not a part of this time.
I used to be 2 Coreys, now I'm 1.
And one day, without any announcement or fanfare of any kind, Connor uploaded a nearly hour-long film called Rap World.
Dave, this is Ben. We're doing an album.
I'm making a movie about them making an album.
Okay.
That's Dave, Ben. That's Dave. Sucks.
Filmed entirely on a handheld camcorder and edited together from 70 hours worth of footage, Rap World takes place in 2009 and follows 4 deadbeat friends in Tobyhanna, Pennsylvania, who get together to record the ultimate rap album. The stars have aligned. Casey's mom's out of town, so hey, they got the whole house to themselves.
No, she's out of town, but she's getting a surgery. But I'm saying
What's the surgery she's getting?
She's getting her ears more separated from her head because she doesn't like the way that she looks from straight on.
Unfortunately, her ears are so close to her head.
And Connor got his ex to watch his son for the night. Rockin'.
She told me that she was pregnant. I broke the glass table. I left the room. Then, a day later, I came back with an engagement ring. I said, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right. So she started crying, everything's okay. We get engaged. All of a sudden, you're gaming too much. I don't think you know how to take a shower right.
There's also a through line here with their friend Jason, who continuously pursues a girl who has virtually no interest in him. He takes the camera privately to the bathroom to record passive-aggressive messages for her.
Because what I'm going through right now has not been felt since World War II by some people that were in it. It's not right what I'm feeling.
As the night wanes on, they just continue to procrastinate, right? They're smoking weed, they're getting McDonald's, they're getting more weed from a cousin whose mom comes in and yells at him.
I found Grandma. Where's Grandma right now?
She's upstairs. She's fine. Grandma's fine.
No, she's not.
Yes,
I just came over with some medicine for her, and by God, she is not fine. She's in pain. She's writhing in pain. And what the hell, you're here too?
And oh, sweet, they find Casey's mom's gun.
Dude, I don't know if we should be messing with it. Oh my God. End it right ass now.
You ever think about that sometimes?
I don't have a reason to.
The whole thing feels so real, and it just strikes that perfect chord of sad funny.
You've never even invited me into the studio so I can hear some bars.
Because I don't have access to a studio. This is the first time I have access because Casey's mom is getting her ears separated from her head down in Puerto Rico.
Not to mention, the way the whole film is edited is amazing. Like the in-universe director cut it in Windows Movie Maker. There are all these off-center interstitial title cards with the good old-fashioned impact font, and the film routinely cuts to very quick, out-of-context clips, as if they were just reusing an old tape several times. So if you're a fan of Conor O'Malley, or a fan of sadness, or if you're just itching to see an authentic time capsule of your high school or college days featuring every shithead you've ever known, Rap World is a masterpiece of stupidity. Also, it's free on YouTube. Like here's the link. I can just put it right here. Go watch it. Now.
Like, I'm gonna say, legitimately, this is, like, really dope.
I'm running for district attorney.
You're an attorney out here for what?
No, I'm running for district attorney. Sort of like governor. It's the way you change your future. All right, thank you. Be safe.
For those of you who don't know, Mr. America is maybe 5% of what is a sprawling cinematic universe. It all started in 2012 with the web series On Cinema at the Cinema. Adult Swim veteran Tim Heidecker, playing a delusional, self-important version of himself, reviews movies with movie expert Greg Turkington.
Our movies today, one is called Turbo, which is a 3D animated movie starring actor Ryan Reynolds, one of my favorite actors, is Burt Reynolds' son. Paul Giamatti and Giamatti. Paul Giamatti.
The great Paul Giamatti.
As the series continued, Tim became less interested in the movies and used the show as more of a soapbox to promote conspiracy theories, failed products and business ventures, a poorly made action series.
I'll need access to your top secret FBI agent or CIA agent who had it for code breaking.
And he represented himself in a nearly 5-hour trial for which he was charged with multiple counts of second-degree murder after 20 people died at his alternative energy festival from vaping-related illnesses.
A couple more questions, and then I'll let you go back to your busy day of watching movies like a loser.
Objection, Your Honor.
How would you describe it, Judge, a man who sits around watching movies all day? These Sleepless in Seattle Hobbit movies. Is that a winner?
It's better than killing people at a music festival.
So already there's just a mountain of in-universe content that's been developed for over a decade. The events of Mr. America pick up after Tim's trial is declared a mistrial, and a documentary crew chronicles his doomed campaign for district attorney of San Bernardino County.
I'm not that corrupt, Washington-style, swamp-style district attorney.
Oh, okay.
Consistent with Tim's warped version of himself, he's not informed of any political issues, nor does he care, and the entire run for DA seems to just be a way to get back at Vincent Rossetti, the prosecutor of his murder trial.
How come you couldn't beat me in court? What kind of DA is that? First time in a courtroom, me. First time. Oh, folks, Vincent Rossetti, District Attorney in San Bernardino, is trying to kill me. It's attempted murder happening right here.
All this backstory is simultaneously Mr. America's greatest strength and flaw, in my opinion. Like, if you're not a Tim head and in on all the inside jokes and sordid history, you might not get as rich of a viewing experience. Although the film does a pretty good job catching you up to speed thanks to Greg Turkington inserting himself into the documentary.
I hope he never sees this film, because if he sees this hat, he's going to lose it. He's going to get so angry at you guys because he doesn't allow people to wear movie hats.
Although Greg provides some dirt on Tim's sketchy past, he seems more interested in getting the documentary crew to focus on his film expertise.
Bringing Down the House with Steve Martin and Queen Latifah. This is a great popcorn classic, one of the funniest movies ever. 105 minutes.
Either way, it's still funny as hell. Every time Tim says something really passive-aggressive, I just lose it.
It's sort of like this kind of three-stage thing. It's we have a rat problem, and I wish you'd give me a pen that works.
Here, let me give you another one.
And it's full of awkward, sad moments played for comedy, something Tim is arguably an expert at.
We have a rat problem. And that'd be great if everybody was joining in on that. We have a rat problem. We have a rat problem.
Mr. America works as a political satire, a dark comedy, and again, it's really just a blip in this Tim Heidecker saga, which continues to this day. It's actually something I really admire from an acting perspective, like how Tim has just built this character and added little ridiculous spices to it over the years.
It's been 6 weeks. What's that song? You know it. 1 week since it's been Bare Naked Ladies. No, but it's been a tough couple of months, 6 months or so since we lost the little TCJR, Tom Cruise Jr. And thank God for all your sympathies and everything that you guys sent my way. It's really incredible.
I also get this strong feeling that Tim just enjoys playing a villain. Kind of like how Andy Kaufman got a kick out of playing his wrestling alter ego. Tim rarely breaks when he's in character, but when he does, you can tell he's having fun.
And I'm supposed to change my bandage tonight.
Kevin's asleep.
Yes.
And appropriately, Mr. America was covered on Cinema at the Cinema, with mixed reviews.
First of all, let's get it out of the way. 0 bags of popcorn from me for Mr. America, directed by Josh Lorton, starring Tim Heidecker and Greg Turkington.
I'm gonna give it 3 bags of popcorn. It's definitely a very, very bad and very disappointing movie.
Right, so stay away.
Conan O'Brien? Whoa, what are you doing here?
I'm looking for a last-minute guest for my show. Any suggestions?
I'll be your guest.
Really? Well, all right. Let's take a look at the television and see how we look.
Cool.
Welcome to the show, Scooby.
I've been a fan of writer-director Todd Solance's work for a while. He's routinely mined comedy from some of the darkest material out there in films like Welcome to the Dollhouse and one of my personal favorites, Happiness. Storytelling was his 3rd film and didn't seem to get as much attention.
Since you would have never have met Dad if your family had stayed in Europe. If it weren't for Hitler, none of us would have been born.
Get the hell out of here.
The film is split up into 2 sections, fiction and nonfiction. The fiction section focuses on Vi, a graduate student dating Marcus, who has cerebral palsy, and their experience in a creative writing class. When Marcus reads a somewhat autobiographical short story just bearing his soul, nobody really feels comfortable saying anything negative about it.
It kind of reminded me a little of Faulkner, but East Coast and disabled.
Mr. Scott, on the other hand, a renowned author who lords over the class with subdued power, doesn't mince words.
The story's a piece of
After a fallout with Marcus, Vi goes to a bar and happens to see Mr. Scott just looking cool as hell, drinking and smoking alone in a corner. In similarly blunt fashion, Scott makes his intentions with Vi perfectly clear. The events of this story weave thematically into the second, much longer section, nonfiction, which opens with Toby Oxman, a struggling filmmaker living in a dumpy studio apartment who awkwardly cold calls a completely disinterested woman he went to high school with.
So, look at where we are, the year 2000. Can you believe it? I mean, did you ever think we would actually make it?
Toby is utterly spineless and has a kind of a vague idea for some kind of documentary he wants to make, but it's ultimately fueled by his nostalgia of just the good old days in high school, but he keeps changing the topic depending on the circumstances.
I'm hoping to get a grant for this one project on teenagers. It's kind of a sociological study in the aftermath of Columbine.
I thought this was about kids getting into college.
Oh, it is. I mean,
Which is it? You gotta keep your focus straight.
He eventually hones in on Scoob, a perpetually baked, aimless teenager and eldest son of an upper-class Jewish family who deludes himself into thinking this documentary is just some kind of big break in show business.
Folks, what do you think? Should Scooby be my new sidekick? Scooby, new sidekick, everybody.
But really, the whole documentary seems to be skewed by Toby's insecurity.
I'm showing it as it really is.
You're showing how superior you are to subject.
No, but I like my subject. I like these people.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I love them.
In this way, storytelling operates on kind of a meta level. It's like a self-critique of Todd Solondz's own work. In the same way he received criticism for poking fun at eccentric characters in suburban life, Toby begins to focus his documentary on Scoob's awful family, exploiting them for comedy.
No exploitation. This is serious. But don't you find it a little funny, too, at the same time?
And hey, look who plays Toby's roommate and cameraman. It's Mike Shank from American Movie. That actually adds a whole other weird meta level to it, too.
Yeah, as soon as I have a screening, I'll let you know.
Thanks, man.
Okay, man.
Okay.
Storytelling it's just chock full of sad, dark humor with almost no redeemable characters, with the exception of Consuelo, a silently miserable El Salvadorian housekeeper for the family. Her character seems to be the only one completely rooted in authenticity and realism, which makes for some depressingly funny, ironic moments since she's pretty much surrounded by cartoon characters. Like in this scene where the mother's on the phone asking for donations for a charity, and out of focus in the background, Consuelo she hobbles in, she struggles to climb up a step stool to dust part of the wall. Don't fall, please, God. And the youngest son of the family is like this evil little young Sheldon-esque kid, asking her barbed questions from his privileged little bubble.
What do you like to do when you're not working?
I am always working.
But when you're not, like now, what do you like to do?
This is work.
But it's not like real work. This is just babysitting.
Maybe I'm just partial to this movie because I'm a fan of Todd Solondz. You know, it's dry, it's unusual, it's obscure. Like, back when I first went looking for it years ago, it was hard to find. Whenever a movie isn't on streaming or the DVD's going for a lot on eBay, I don't know, it's like a little alarm goes off in my head. It's like, well, I kind of want to see it if you're going to keep it from me. Its obscurity may have something to do with a controversial sex scene that Solondz chose to censor with a gigantic red box in order to avoid an NC-17 rating in America. It may not be for everybody, and Solondz's other films are arguably stronger, but I still have a warm, dark place in the cockles of my heart for this strange little movie.
It's unbelievable. It's cliche. It's disgusting.
But it happened!
I don't know about what happened, Vi. Because once you start writing, it all becomes fiction.
Hey everybody, we're porking at top speed today because my niece is in rehab and I've just learned that she's been stabbed by a maniac with a broken piece of glass.
A while back, The Onion had what I consider to be a golden age of content on YouTube.
Today we're going to get some insider tips from a child safety expert and ex-pedophile Terry Parker. Welcome to the show,
Hi,
Terry.
Jim and Tracy. Thanks for having me.
Okay, now I hope you parents at home who have faggy-acting little boys have been taking notes because we've gotten a lot of good advice here.
All that Jim goes to a stupid train festival again.
You won't want to miss it. And Every morning is a good morning on Today Now.
Well, back in 2012, The Onion decided to take Jim Haggerty, the chipper, soulless morning show host, and give him kind of a spin-off miniseries, Porkin' Across America. Presented as a parody of a typical on-the-road food review series of remote segments, it features Jim as he travels the country to try pork in all 50 states.
Wow, you can really taste the cooked pork.
The series manages to take what was originally a bland yet crucial straight man of the morning show universe and really flesh him out. It's established early on in the series that Jim's #1 priority is his show.
Whoa, 18 missed calls. Sorry, honey, the only number I'm not screening is porks. Let's eat.
His wife continues to call him with some very serious problems, and it's clear that he's only peripherally aware of what's going on at home.
Just like when Tommy was getting beat up at school and you stayed at your stupid upfront.
That was another problem that you made a big deal out of that ended up solving itself.
We had to put him in a different school.
Oh, I thought the bully died.
As the series progresses, Jim soldiers on, determined to finish his pork quest.
Well, it does count as pork. And I did make a promise to myself to eat every part of the pig but the penis and vagina.
As he rushes through every restaurant, just throwing money at people, his life falls apart.
Nathan would never have done that. He's a good dog. That other dog must have provoked
Mr.
him.
Haggerty, I'm sorry, but our policy is that we will have to euthanize Nathan.
What? Nathan. Nathan?
He's dead now.
Who's ready for pork?
I don't want to give away any more bits. I just want to take a moment to specifically call out the actor, Brad Holbrook, and his genuinely phenomenal performance. His previous career as an actual newsman must have been a factor when he was originally cast in the Today Now series.
Tonight, a big reward for the cold-blooded killer of a rookie New York cop. The new law to warn people about the dangers of toxic chemicals in food, water, and air. Jeff Lyons will tell us if Harrison Ford's new movie is really all that frantic. And 50 years old and still a superhero, Superman's golden birthday party.
And he's just fantastic as Jim on the show. Like, he's just one of those guys that he's either faking his enthusiasm for morning show viewers, or he's just actually that boring. Porkin' Across America gives Holbrook more to play with. Like, he can really sell those grim moments of comedy in the best way possible.
Although they did notice that your body was attacking your human organs, probably because of all the grafts and the transplants. So they replaced your lower intestine, pancreas, and liver with pig organs.
I am pig?
Okay.
Overall, Porkin' Across America, it's just a jewel from an especially funny era of The Onion. The writing, acting, and execution of everything is perfect, and it remains one of my favorite comedies.
So, another great episode of Porkin' Across America in the books. I want to dedicate this episode to my niece Hannah, who had her problems with crack, sure, but that doesn't mean she deserved to be stabbed.
One more time. Keep your hands in your lap. Now ask me.
May I have the banana?
Put it back on my plate. Ask.
All right. May I please have the banana?
Oh, no.
Thank you.
You got it.
Windy City Heat, somewhat of a lost relic from the heyday of Comedy Central, is vulgar, cruel, infantile, and one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. The story goes like this. Back in the early 90s, comedian Don Barris saw this guy, Perry Caravello, perform at an open mic night at the Comedy Store. Recognizing that he had virtually no business being a comedian or an actor, Don and fellow comedian Tony Barbieri proceeded to with him for 11 years by convincing him that he had the chops to be a big star.
When Don first met me, he saw a major star in me. And wouldn't let go of me. I mean, not in the gay aspects.
All right.
As the magnum opus of this diabolical Perry Project psyop, Don, Tony, and a cavalcade of other comedians got together to shoot a fake film noir, Windy City Heat, with Perry starring as a hard-nosed private detective, Stone Fury.
Ah, trapped like a rat now, huh? Now let's see who the bad guy really is. The way I stole the scene was just my expressions.
In reality, the film is a cover for a series of pranks played on Perry, who's convinced he's the next Steven Seagal.
Because I have a Steven Seagal smoothness.
And if you're wondering why Perry wouldn't immediately realize something is up when a full-on camera crew is following him around, Don offers a perfectly reasonable explanation.
All right, I know that they're going to be doing the making of these things. You know, they put on DVDs, they put the whole behind-the-scenes stuff, and they put the extra footage. So they're probably going to mic you the minute we get out of the car, and there's going to be a camera following us everywhere.
Okay.
One might feel sorry for Perry and his delusions if he came across as a decent human being, but time and time again, Perry just proves himself to be an egotistical, vile, misogynistic dude, and the comedians behind the pranks see Perry's shortcomings as ripe opportunities for comedy. For example, Perry he's just got a little issue with gay people.
I'm not a I'm homophobic. I hate
Have you worn chaps before?
So let's get an actor to pretend to be an over-the-top stereotype of a gay guy who works in the wardrobe department and just have him push every uncomfortable button, pretty much reinforcing every homophobic fear that Perry has.
Now he wants to measure my inseam. More or less, what the guy wants to do is go down on me. Am I in the wrong wardrobe?
No, you're in the right wardrobe. This isn't the stage for Oklahomos.
Another thing they play around with is Perry's complete naivety of Hollywood or how shooting a movie works. Bobcat Goldthwait plays himself as the director, dressed like he's in the silent era, perpetually talking to everybody through a bullhorn.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
You don't need to use that in here.
I'm gonna turn it on in a lower setting.
All right.
Okay. If I don't use it, I forget to when I'm directing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
When a sex scene is shot, Perry is not only convinced that anyone who wishes to watch a sex scene may do so, but that the actors are actually having sex.
I can't use any of it because they had full penetration. You know?
Did they use
I can't get an NC-17. I got the NAACP already all over me. What was that, Perry?
And it also helps that Perry has no knowledge of Hollywood or American history in general, as evidenced by the names of all the people Perry meets along his journey. Dane Cook is a casting director named Roman Polanski.
Okay, Goldthwait.
Good to see you.
Can I shake your hand?
Oh, yeah, pleasure. Just getting over a little poison oak here.
Okay. Oh.
The secretary turned female lead is Susan B. Anthony. Perry's limo driver is Travis Bickle. He's got a Jewish contract lawyer named Saul Steinbergowitz Greenbaum. It's just complete absurdity.
Bobcat came to me and he goes, the investor of the film is coming, you know, and I forget the investor's name.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the Japanese money man.
I can understand if someone would be a bit turned off by a film like this. The whole thing is just on an astral plane level of ball busting I could never have imagined. And at the end of the day, you know, they are pretty much straight up bullying and gaslighting another human being.
Perry, I thought you saw that. Perry, I'm really sorry. Don't give me the half-eye, please.
That was a good pass.
It was right in his chest.
See, I've got to look.
But if you're like me and you have a shameful, dark, cancerous part of your soul, and you can free yourself from any semblance of morality or human decency for an hour and a half, and maybe you could have a few drinks, then you just might be able to experience an honest-to-God work of art.
Perry?
What?
Is that you?
Shut up.
I heard something.
Yeah, you heard my ass.
What?
Don't, just shut the up.
Perry, are you
Let
okay
me use
in
the
there?
bathroom, okay?
Are you okay? I
I'm
heard
fine.
Something. What was that noise?
What do you think, stupid?
I'm not stupid. What was that noise?
My ass farting.
Oh, I apologize.
It is stupidity, for sure. But the ingenuity that went into crafting each bit, combined with the foresight of knowing how to best take advantage of Perry's short emotional fuse, is stupidity done with a surprising amount of intelligence, I think.
Is somebody gonna undo the buckles on me? Cameraman. Okay. Hello?
All right, guys. I'm sorry. I guess I should apologize. I don't know, man. This stuff just makes me laugh. I mean, that's not to say I don't enjoy more mainstream, iconic comedies. I love Dumb and Dumber. I love The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Yeah, but every once in a while, I want to see a comedy that'll really take risks and is not afraid to be offensive or off-color in some way. So yeah, these projects, they may not be the most accessible to everybody. But if you go in with an open mind and you just want to try something a little off the beaten path, you might just learn something about yourself that you never wanted to know.